What the heck? Sounds like an old truck. So it's pretty bad when your Jeep door sounds worse than like an old 80s Blazer door. Anyway, it's a pretty easy fix because it's a very common thing. So what you're going to need is about a $60 hinge and a 13mm ratchet or gear wrench. So let me show you how to do this. Quick job. Like I said, these are about $60 from the dealership or any online parts store. You do have to paint them to match your car if you don't want them to look out of place. But before you paint them, you need to open them up because they come in the door closed position. You kind of got to open them up to like this so you can actually install them. So I'll show you the old one, a way to open them up. If you just take a board and some screws, you can do this, or you can use a vise. Now this allows you to just use 2 screwdrivers and pull the thing open. Now you can paint it and already install in the car. Like I said, the only other tool we're gonna need is a 13mm, but there's one thing you have to do before you do that. You need to support the door. And honestly, you could like put some blocks there. You could have somebody hold it. I am just gonna use one of these chairs. You can use an office chair, but any of these hydraulic chairs makes it really easy to support. And then also just take some rags and kind of shove them in this joint over here, because there's a possibility that with that bottom hinge undone, it could wiggle back and kind of rub against the paint here. So I'm just going to shove a few rags in here. All right, so like I said, just a 13mm ratchet or gear wrench, and we just go and remove these bolts. Now with the hinge unbolted, we do have to maneuver the door just a little bit to get the hinge to come out over these nuts. With the window open, I'm going to lift up on the frame. And as I lift up, pop the old hinge off. And then same thing to reinstall. Just kind of get it in the area, lift up, and set it back down. Make sure you get them all started before you even starting to tighten any of them down. And then the best way to line it up is just use the old paint marks that were on there when they painted your Jeep. And this procedure should be the same for pretty much any, Dodge vehicle like this. I think these are the exact same parts that are on the 300, that are on the Charger and the Challenger. Pretty much all of them are like this. So I'm just going to basically tighten these all to finger tight, and then I'm just going to move the door around until we line up the old paint marks. Once you're happy with the alignment, go ahead and tighten them the rest of the way down. Now they're all snugged up, and we can go ahead and release our stool. And then before we go slamming anything, let's just double check that our alignment is the same. So now we can just carefully close the door. Make sure we got a nice even body gap all the way down. Make sure nothing has changed with the alignment here. If anything has changed, you might need to adjust that. But in theory, it should be in a direct replacement. And there we go. Now our door no longer sounds like an old truck. Guys, please be sure to hit that like button. Thank you very much.